Another day training like a professional golfer. It's just getting a bit of a routine now. So you might be thinking, where are you at? This looks slightly different. We are at Haythrop Park, and the next video you will see will be with the famous Liam Robertson. So I've come up today for a little lesson, and it's a bit windy, as you can hear. So I've got about an hour until I see Liam. So I just thought come and do some short game and share some little tips that I like to do when practicing my short game. Hopefully there's a couple of nuggets in there that can all help you in practice, and especially when you get out onto the course. So I'm going to start off with hitting a basic chip shot to this first flag. Okay, so just 4 standard chip shots to this first hole. Really basic chip. Look at the wind affecting that. Okay, so 3, 4 pretty solid shots, and I roughly saw it landing around here. Now I'm going to pace out how far this is to the hole. 1, 2, 3, 4, so around about 12 feet. Now we can then take this to our next shot, and we'll talk a little bit about how this is going to help us choose the landing area. Okay, so based on that first shot, we've got a distance of 12 feet that this is running out. Now obviously I'll be looking at slope as well. That plays a big factor into how much it's going to release. You know, is it uphill, downhill that you're landing it on? So this is pretty flat. I'm just going to play this as 12 feet again. So round about this leaf. 3, so a little bit shorter than this leaf here. So maybe we're looking at 1 pace short of that leaf. Now this is just going to give me a clear understanding of where I want to land this shot to get it to stop by the hole. Okay, flown it by a country mile, but the thought process, the idea is all there. Okay, same again, a little bit past it. This wind is brutal, by the way. There it is. Lands it 1 short. Oh my god, do it. There it is. And I mean, that's that first segment over and out. That's really how simple it is, and I think that takes you away from technique and really thinking about what could go wrong with a chip shot. I know people get a little bit anxious. I certainly do sometimes if the lie's a little bit difficult, of the fat, thin one. If you think about the process of where do I want to land it, be really clear about your shot, sometimes it takes you away from any bad shots that could happen. You know, you're so clear on what you want to do, and there you go. So the next part to the short game practice is about playing different shots, and you know, we've got the exact same shot now, but we know that the neutral one, or the stock chip shot, is 1 pace short of that leaf. Just there again. Pretty good. So now I'll switch this up. I'll actually go ball back, close the face a little bit, and I'll land this one just on the green. Didn't run out. We'll have another go at that. Didn't really get it firing out, you know. Let's have 1 more go. There it is. If that misses the ball, it's good. So, you know, there we've got the low one covered. We're hitting a different type of shot. Same club. It's going to hit the ball again. I'm going to play that again. Okay, so the low one, and I think mixing up chipping is just so great. I mean, you see it in long game, low, high, fade, draw. Same with chipping. I like mixing it up and having the variability to do it with different clubs. You know, I could pull out a 9-iron here and play that shot, but sometimes it's nice to learn the different shots that you can do with one club. you know. This is a lob wedge, and we're getting it to come out like a 9-iron. Little draw spin, and there it is, there's the low one. So then you go to the shot that's, we've now got a bunker to where that leaf is, you know, so we've got to get this one up and high and coming in soft. Stopped absolute, that stopped so quick. So yeah, you know, we're just playing some different shots. That's nowhere near. It's tough to get it to the hole when you've got a 30, this might actually be a full lob wedge into this breeze from 20 yards. Sit, sit, sit. I've got hold of it. That's the high risk shot, and I think that's why you don't really see that one come out a lot, because it's so hard to judge the distance. I'll have another go. Okay, so open face. Also, I'm gonna just lower the handle. So the low shot, I'm kind of bringing the ball back just inside this back foot. Shaft lean is all the way forward. I like keeping it to where the left arm is. And then, you know, I'm really just trying to stay lee side and just turn through it. Sometimes I'll shut the face down if I want to hit that draw one. The high one, I'm kind of bringing the ball forward. The hands are going this way, lower. So I'm adding a little bit more loft. And, you know, I think what's underestimated with when you get the face open is you've got to be aggressive into it. And that's what's kind of tough with the open face one. You've now got to be really confident and brave through the ball. There it is. That's the one. But yeah, it's a real high tariff shot, you know, that's a really risky shot. I mean, it's rare that I'd be playing that. But, you know, when it comes off, it does look great. But, you know, you've got that one, and then you've got, you know, your little chasey one that's landing on the front edge, releasing up with the exact same club. And then, you know, you go back to your standard chip shot that lands just short of that leaf that's somehow still there. Flown it. Oh, spun. Beautiful. So, just by giving yourself the variability in shots, I think that's teaching you how to become a good chipper, is doing more with one club. Play your high ones, play your low ones, play your neutral one. Gives you a lot more options around the green. Okay, so this next one's going to be for some really friendly chipping advice, and we've got a 9-iron, 7-iron and a 5-iron in hand here. And we've got, hopefully you can see there's 3 different flags. So 9-iron to the first one, and the kind of setup position for me with these shots is going to be, I'll splay my left foot just a hair, just to help turn, and shaft's going to be pretty neutral. Weights probably 60-40 in this leg, and all I'm doing is simply rocking the shoulders. I'm not allowing any of this. We're just really getting in that good setup here, and then just rocking shoulders. So yeah, we've got 3 flags, and I'll go 9-iron first to the front one. A little bit steamy. We'll go 9-iron to the second one. Missed the ball. I keep hitting the ball. And then we've got another flag all the way up on that hill as well. This is a very safe way of chipping. So that was 9-iron. Then we'll go to 7-iron. Exact same setup. This one's obviously just going to come out a little bit hotter. And it's good to see the way that the 9, 7 and 5 react, because each club you're going to have to put a different amount of speed in. That's why I quite like training with one. So what I'd recommend is round the greens, if you find your 7-iron or your 5-iron or your 9-iron, that one club you like, stick with it and just use that. So this is going to be 7-iron now. Exact same setup. Don't need to hit it as hard. You see as well, it just comes out like a little lower and hotter. Second flag. And it's just so simple. Once you like get that technique down, you know, it's really, it really is just rocking the shoulders. Very, very simple way. Do it for the boys. Oh my God. It was about 2 inches, 3 inches that. Very good shot with the 7-iron. That might be my club. But let's see what the 5-iron's like. The 5-iron becomes even easier, and that's why I say just to test it out. The other option is putt, but sometimes the fringes won't be good enough to putt. You just need that little bit of elevation and kick up to get it moving, you know. So let's go 5-iron, exact same setup, and then obviously even lighter now. Right, that comes out so hot. It's just literally, you've got to just get it moving with the 5-iron. Look at that. I mean, I like it to that back flag. I mean, I'm barely gonna have to, you know, when you swing into like here, there's only so much that can go wrong, you know, if anything. Look at that. It's coming out nice and low. Sit, sit, sit. That comes out lovely with the 5-iron. It's really worth trying. It just makes the short game a lot easier. Look at that. I don't know if you can hear me, but it's a good one to test, to see how far it's running out. See how consistent you are as well. Look at it, like, just 4 randomly, doof, doof, doof. Look how consistent it is. From like 40 yards, maybe 35 yards. Really is a simple way of chipping. That was the 5-iron, and yeah, it's scary. Obviously, you try and chip with the 60 and it's great for certain shots around the greens. You know, you're gonna have to get elevation and learn different shots, but the bump and run is a shot that you can get very good at, and all of a sudden, these 20-yard bump and runs, they start looking more and more appealable, and before you know it, you'll be chipping them in. Okay, so one last tip for me on the short game, and it's going to be realistic with your practice. Give yourself lies that you're going to get out on the course, you know. You're not going to get a perfect lie out there every single time. So I mean, this is my worst nightmare. Into the grain. Oh, it's horrible, but I'm just going to get ball first. Lovely. Lovely. So yeah, just be realistic with your practice, you know. You're not going to get a perfect lie out there, so don't give yourself one on the short game area. Some of them are going to be sat up, some of them are going to be sat down. Play different shots, learn different shots, try and draw one in there. Look at that bounce. Hit one a little floaty, you've got a bunker there again. Just be creative, and that's the main part to the whole short game session for me, is just being creative, trying different shots. Obviously stick to your basic routines and your basic chip shots, make sure you dial them in first. Let's talk some key fundamentals about the chip shot. I want to just cover that because I'm not sure whether some people know the basic fundamental of just hitting a standard chip shot. Okay, so just a basic chip shot and the key fundamentals to chipping. So for me, the basic chip shot is going to look like a lot narrower stance. I like to kind of have maybe 2 club widths apart or club head widths apart. You know, anything wider than that, I feel like my base is too wide for a chip shot. I quite like having, you know, even a club head wide stance. And you know, the main focus for me is all about low point control. So obviously if you're hitting the ground back here, digging, it's going to be a fat. If you're hitting the ground here, you're going to be thinning. So One thing I think that's really, really good practice as well is actually getting 2 balls and trying to cleanly strike both of them. And you'll hear it as well, there should be no fat or fin there. You should just be getting that club rolling through. And the whole point of that is just letting the club glide along the floor. You don't want no digging or the hands leading. You kind of want the club head almost feeling like it's overtaking the hands. And yeah, the low point control in short game is huge. So that's one thing that I couldn't recommend enough is, you know, start off with 2 balls and then get yourself 1, set up, you know, 2 or 3 balls behind it, and I'm going to hit the ground here. But because the club will be gliding in low enough using the bounce, we should get a nice clean strike. I need to work on my low point. That's quite poor, that. Right. There it is. So you're entering the ground before just using the bounce and feeling that low point correctly.
It is what it is, isn't it?
They just got to hate.
Hate is gone hate.
This is like my worst nightmare.
What's that?
Left to right wind. Just get even more like...
If I go here and I did this, and then I went here, and then I go... Then you'll actually get a bit more...
Hey, you're so pure at that one, mate. I can't.
Which one?
My club's going to be at that red stone.
Yeah, but again though, Josh, is that not just a skill that you got to get good at?
Yeah.
Because do you not think the first go I ever had was on a mat? Yeah.
Was it?
It's gone in the ground, come up, smacked me under the chin, and I bit my lip and like bleeding everywhere.
God.
It was carnage.
Full driving range.